Hey all, happy Friday. Here's just a quick video on showing you how to bind an X4 Desire, a 502S or a 502E that's been upgraded slightly, to the H509A Advanced Controller. If you got a 502E or a 502S and you've got the basic controller, and then you went out and bought the advanced controller, here's some tips on getting that to work. So here, for example, this is the advanced controller, and then this is the controller that came with the 502E, of course, slightly modded, of course, with a bigger antenna, but basically the same. And this is the X4 Desire. This is the 502E that's been upgraded to a 502S by replacing the video card, but basically a 502S at this point. And you know, the boxes that the two came in, of course, the transmitter, which I got off Banggood, I guess it was. No, I got that off GearBest, and it was pretty cheap, about 150 bucks Canadian on sale. It was pretty reasonable. And the X4, the 502E, that's been modified. I'll put links to these in the description as well for you. So I found that I could not get the thing to fly. It was easy enough to connect to the thing and bind it. The binding process is fairly simple. You just hold down the enter key and power it on, and then power on your 502, and it binds nicely. And after you get video and everything like that, of course you can't take off with the older firmware, without GPS. But in the new version of the firmware, which I'll put a link to in the description as well, you'll see that after you download the firmware, you'll get a bit of glare on the screen there, but you'll get the H906A folder in there, and in the H906 folder you'll see the three versions of the firmware, maybe more after this video is out, but there's the 1.1.6. That's the latest, and that's the one that allows you to not only recognize the 502, but also has a new feature in the menu that allows you to fly without GPS. And of course, if if you don't have GPS, you're wondering why you can't, and you wonder why you can't start the motors up. That's probably why. But this firmware will allow you to do that. So you can actually start, not just bind, but also start the motors as well. So you need to upgrade to that version of the firmware. Of course, on the advanced or the Pro radio, to get to that, you just hold down the enter button and hold the stick down, and you get to the menu, and you can see the version that you've got there. This one's already upgraded, but I'll show you how to do that in a second. So you can see I've got 1.1.6. Now, so after you download the things, you just want to connect the put the transmitter, or sorry, put the radio into the firmware update mode. And really there's a couple of different features there, so or abilities there. So to put it in the upgrade mode, hold the stick down. I guess it's to the left. We can just try one or the other. It's either to the right or to the left on the bottom. One is to upgrade the receiver, and the other one is the firmware on the radio itself. So if I try the left, hold the enter button and power it on, you'll see that that's for the receiver. That's not what I want. Let's try it again. If I hold it to the right and down, hold the enter button down and power on, it just starts blinking with a black screen. That's what you want right there. Now, of course, you're gonna plug in, your USB port into the radio here. Let's do that. There it is. And now we're going to upgrade the thing. So basically, at this point, we run the upgrade tool. We click on connect. You may have to install the USB drivers if you didn't already. There it is, found upgrade tool, connected on COM, whatever. Open the right firmware, the 1.1.6, and click the upgrade button. And that looks like this. There it goes. Okay, so it's upgraded the firmware, and now you know, if you look on the radio, you should have the 1.1.6. We'll close that out and disconnect the radio and turn it off. And now, to bind the thing, you know, if you have to rebind, you know, your quadcopter to it, of course, you're just going to hold the enter button down on the radio, power it up, no joystick control it up whatsoever. System initialize, bind to plane. It says on the screen, plug in the battery on your quadcopter, and then very soon you will have a bind process complete. We'll see what that looks like on the screen here. There it is. So now I have video and everything on the screen, and now you've got a new feature on here as well. So if you hold the stick down and go into the menu, you'll see there's a new fly when no GPS feature on there. Just go down to that and say change that from a no to a yes, and hit the exit button, and now you can start up your quadcopter. We'll hold the sticks down to the right here. Oh, of course, calibrate the unit. We have to do that too, so we'll do the whole process here of calibrating the compass. There we go. Calibrate you and you. There we go. And now the thing's beeping saying there's no GPS, but that's okay. We can still start up the motors and take off and have some fun with this thing. And we'll shut down the motors. So there you go. There's your 502S bound with an advanced controller, the H509A, and life is good. You know, I hope to get some nice weather that we can test this thing and have some fun. But anyways, enjoy, leave some comments. Thanks for watching.